Today I'm going to make up a log cabin that is made out of jelly rolls. I'm using the Jordan Fabrics pattern here, and this is the printout. And when they make it up, makes up to 3x4, which is 12 log cabins. So if I do only the log cabins and not the borders, then it would finish to 42 by 56. So for this, for just doing 12 of them, she has 40 strips for the fabric requirement, but I'm going to double this. So I have a couple of these that I picked up, and I'm going to take some of these, and I'm going to take some of these. Now, the requirements here is I need like 18 of the dark fabric strips. So that means to double it, I need 36. Now, these yellows are more of a light, so I'm going to use a couple of them to be the center square, but the rest of them are not going to go into that dark. So I actually need more than what's here because basically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I only have 30 of those really dark batiks. So what I have to do is I have to raid my stash in order to get the 6 strips that I'm missing to be able to do that dark side. One of the things that I'm going to do, I noticed in the video that she was able to do this very quickly. And so I want to see just how long it takes to do a log cabin. And so I am going to go ahead and set a timer. So I have the stopwatch up on my phone here. Periodically, I'm going to flash the phone just so that you can see where I'm at progress-wise. And so we'll see how long this takes, starting with the cutting and continuing with the sewing and the pressing, and see how long it takes to make up a quilt top that is going to be 24 of these blocks, and that will end up finishing to 56 by 84 when I do that. So let's get started. You might be wondering what's going on here. And what happened here is I had a bit of a mess up. So I went ahead and I stopped the clock on this part because this is not what would usually happen whenever you're trying to do a log cabin. And so part of it is just the fact that I haven't really used this particular pattern before. I've made log cabins, but I haven't used this particular one before. Part of it is just having this layout where these measurements are in a paragraph kind of a format. In the video, Donna's actually writing out the measurements on a piece of paper. I should have done the same thing, actually. So that was mistake number 1. More importantly, mistake number 2 was that I was having a conversation with my husband while I was cutting things, and I lost track. I ended up, instead of going for the 12.5 and 6.5, for some reason my brain just decided to go for the 14.5 and the 4.5. So, it's not all completely a loss. What I ended up doing was I took the longer of the strips, I went ahead and cut those into the 6.5s, and so I have those. Unfortunately, I couldn't take the leftover of that and join it directly with 6.5 that I had cut. So I ended up using these little pieces here that are the folds. And nice thing about this particular jelly roll is that these things were actually really straight. I wasn't encountering elbow issues. They actually had cut these very, very straight at whatever factory or textile mill that they were doing that. After sewing those, making sure I had enough and sewing them, most of these are actually definitely too long. They're longer than the 12.5, so I'm going to trim them down. So that's an easy enough thing here. So let's see, we got those 3. Okay, I'm going to line this up with the 10, and And then I'm going to take the other 2. And then, of course, I think another problem that I ran into was that I got a little ambitious and I started cutting all 12 of those at once. And I think that was a bit of a mistake too, because if I had kept to cutting them 6 at a time, then I would have only screwed up 6 of them and had to do that kind of sewing, and then the others would have been fine. If I caught it that early, that is. So we need 12 and a half. So 12 and a half is right there. You know, so just because you make a mistake like that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. All right, I'm ready to sew these up. And so I have these all kind of put together. I've kind of mixed them up a little bit just to give them some variety, like Donna suggested in the video. I went ahead and made up a test block. This is my test block. And so now I have 23 of these in this pile here that I can go ahead and sew up. So now the real speed run part of this gets to start. First unit's done, and like I just showed, I'm ironing at every single round. And the reason for that is because I feel like doing it the way that Donna Jordan does it, it kind of keeps everything sort of a little fluffier than I would like. So that was kind of intense doing 23 at once, actually. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do 8 at once. So that'll mean that I have 8, 8, and 7. So that's going to be how I go ahead and position this. And so right now, I'm at 2 hours, 14 minutes, so we'll get it cranking back up again like that. So now I just want to count out 8 of these, and this will become my next round. I'm just wrapping up pressing the first 8 of that remaining amount there. So these, you always want to press them towards the outside like that. You want to press it towards the direction of the least amount of seams, generally speaking, because that's just the way fabric wants to go. And then I'm just going to spritz this with a little bit of pressing spray. So I have that. Nice thing about batik is it doesn't strictly need it, but I still like to just have that extra bit of crisp quality to what I'm doing. So that's why I do that. And there we go. So here we go. These are the remaining of the first 2. So the first round there, I guess. And so this would end up being like that. That means that this one is next. So I need 8 of these. So I'm going to pick out 8 of these, and then I'm going to get sewing on these. So now I have 9 of these made up. So I have the 8, and then I have the one back here that I had that was the very first one, using that one as a reference. So that means I still need to make up another 15. So that's going to take me a while. I let's see. Okay, so I ended up at 5 hours and 40 minutes. So that's what my stopwatch got to for the 9. Now I get to keep going with this, and we'll see if I can actually do this kind of thing, this scale, as a quilt in a day. So this should be interesting. So here's the big reveal. Oh, look at that. I have to do it out here in the backyard because this thing is so huge. So this is double what Donna Jordan did with her jelly roll log cabin. So basically, like, just right down about the ground is more like that version. So my version is definitely a lot bigger for putting onto a twin size bed. I might put a little bit of a skinny border around it, but I won't do that yet. I think when I do actually finish this, I'm going to go ahead and do it as a quilt as you go. So here it is in the studio. This is just one corner of it right here. So you are probably all very curious what this came out to. This ended up being 13 hours and 48 minutes, 49 minutes actually, for me to make. And since this is double what she made, then you'd have to make it be in half. So basically about 7 hours there. And then also, I ended up spending probably about 3 extra hours doing all the pressing, and that's just my estimate, because when she goes through and does the pressing, she just does like more of a finger press at the machine and then keeps going, and I was doing it after every single round. And so I estimate that probably tacked on a good 3 hours or so onto my time. So I would say that making just 12 in the style that follows along with these directions would probably take around 5 to 5.5 hours. So I hope this was interesting and worthwhile, and please check out my other videos.